Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm your host, That One Camera Guy, and in this episode, I'm going to be doing an updated review of the MC-11 adapter, talking about my experience shooting some baseball with the adapter and the 120-300 Sports Series lens by Sigma. Let's jump into it. I'm just going to go ahead and get straight to the point. I'm going to be covering a few topics about the MC-11 adapter that you want to know about. So let's just jump into it. Number one, let's go over firmware updates. YouTuber user Aram posted a link, and I'll have that down below, of Sigma's website detailing both current and future firmware updates for their newer line of lenses. On the list, they actually have the Sigma 120-300 Art Series lens, which is touted to get a firmware update between June through August. So for those of us with that lens, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer to get some better autofocusing algorithms to improve its performance. Really odd though, unfortunately, the Sigma 35 Art Series lens for Canon did not get an update to improve its performance with the MC-11 adapter. However, the Sigma mounted version did get an update, but not the Canon one, so I don't know what happened there. Number three, let me go ahead and talk about the update process. It's actually really simple for those of you who do want to do this. You'll obviously need a Sigma lens, one of the newer models, and also the USB dock. Again, it's not difficult at all. You'll need to visit the website that I have posted down below if you want to do an update. You'll have to download and install the Mac or Windows version of the software for your computer. But once you install the software, all you got to do is plug the USB in to your computer and into the actual dock, and then attach your lens onto the dock. And as soon as you boot up the program will automatically determine if your adapter needs an update or even the lens requires an update. So it's actually really simple. So that's the update process. Number three on my list is compatibility issues. I need to redact what I said earlier in my last video. This adapter is only really good with the Sigma line of lenses. Their art, sport, contemporary type lenses. Any old lenses or even Sigma lenses or non-Sigma lenses will have compatibility issues. Unless Sigma decides to release a firmware update, we're technically out of luck. So unfortunately, just stick to your Sigma art, contemporary, and sport-based lenses with this adapter. Number four on my list is the issue itself. What happens is, depending on the lens that you have, if you take a photo using autofocus continuous, and even sometimes an autofocus single, the camera just freezes and it hangs. And you'll notice some weird behavior. Maybe the lens will make a funny noise, and the camera will either continue to work after a certain amount of time, or it will just shut down. So again, that is the actual issue that a lot of folks are starting to see with their non-Sigma or non-recent Sigma lenses. Let's discuss the Sigma 120-300 Sports Series performance. I had the chance to go ahead and shoot some baseball with the lens. I also had a chance to do some softball, but baseball was my primary target for this test. As far as the autofocus in video, because some of you asked about that, I had examples at the beginning of this episode. All of the footage that you saw in the beginning was recorded using the lens and the adapter. Okay, and I used autofocus continuous on the subjects. So if you were wondering if you could track a subject with the adapter, it absolutely can. And I had my camera set to autofocus continuous, 120 frames per second, and wide is the zone that it had set, was wide. And you will hear a stepping noise with the lens, so keep that in mind when you're shooting with it, if sound is really critical to what you're doing. As far as the autofocus in the photography side, surprisingly the autofocus performance with the adapter did really well compared to what I experienced at track and field. Although the subjects in baseball move very fast at times, the lens kept up for most of it. I wouldn't say it's like native performance, but it was adequate enough to get the job done, and you can see it in the examples that I'm showing. By the way, I had to shoot awkwardly for some of these photos because I had the Atomos attached and I couldn't use the electronic viewfinder while the Atomos was recording what I was trying to show. I also tried a variety of settings. YouTuber Nikolaj Halberg recommended I try using a slower burst rate from low to mid. And I did actually find that to work a little bit more accurately, as you didn't experience the hang issue as much when I shot that way. Unfortunately, we all want to be able to shoot at the higher frame rate burst, so hopefully that will be situated and resolved in the future. As far as my conclusions about the Sigma adapter, I really am unhappy. The real issue is Sigma brought out a product that wasn't ready for prime time. I know they will be releasing firmware updates, and I think the fact that they didn't update the majority of the lenses is going to look negatively in their favor, so it won't really help them. I'm still confused why they decided to update the Sigma adapter's performance first over the Canon Sigma 35 version of their lens, since more people would have that lens to begin with. It is a very well regarded lens, performance and sharpness wise. But overall, the adapter will provide a lot of users great performance with their Sigma lenses. Unfortunately, they'll just have to wait a little bit longer. Folks, I don't know everything. If you have any questions or comments about the adapter or experience using it, go ahead and leave them down below. If you did like this video and you found it helpful, please consider giving it a like, as it will get more visibility for my channel. And if you are enjoying the content I'm producing and you want to see more content about the Sony mirrorless cameras, consider subscribing. And if you missed any of my previous videos, you can go ahead and find them somewhere around here. And with that said, I'm your host, that one camera guy, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye. Oh, and by the way, this is actually the second time I went and shot some baseball. I was able to get access in the dugout to record and shoot photos. I actually got hit by the baseball with the a6300. Fortunately, it didn't damage anything. I had the cage around my camera, but it did hit the HDMI cable where the Atomos was attached, so that really sucked. Fortunately, there wasn't any permanent damage. It did have some weird flickering issues at first, but yeah, that's the stuff that I do for you guys and the videos that I produce. So luckily it didn't hit me right in the head.